Hello, hello, hello. This is No More Covers podcast, season 2, hosted by yours truly, Latrice Marie. And this segment is Pillow Talk. So here it is, March 15th at 4:50 a.m. And there are times when I feel as though the Lord wakes me up. And on this day, I am up and feeling charged. I want to stop for a moment. I want to speak to my people. And I want to give you the revelation that I feel I just received. Oftentimes, we as believers or Christians, we know that we have all the answers. And I would like to believe that there are times when we unknowingly chop other people down. I know for a fact that I've been guilty of it myself. If someone has trusted me enough in the past to share their personal beliefs with me, I would cut it off at the head and yell, "It's Jesus, Jesus, Jesus," which it is. However, when we make people feel condemned and judged, which just so happens to be the opposite of love, don't be so surprised if they no longer want to speak to you. How is it that we can educate people or even be educated if we are so quick to shut other people down? You just may be wondering what I'm talking about, and I'm glad you asked. What I'm talking about is I had a friend of mine that was holding a conversation that I was privy of. I was right there in the midst. And someone said to them, "Hey, I'm a Scorpio. Hey, I'm a this or that." It doesn't matter which sign it was. And I think that it's awesome. And this person just ever so quickly shut it down. And so what the Lord was showing me on this day is this. Because I just celebrated a birthday. I'm a Pisces. And I know that you have to be careful who you share that with. And what I want to say about that is, I am a Pisces. I do have the same characteristics and traits. And for the most part, if you look at what a quote unquote a Pisces is, I'm that to a T. I believe that the Lord knows about it. But the difference between me and maybe some of the other people is this. I see it. I believe it's true, but I don't worship it. I don't go to the horoscopes to find out what my next move should be. I trust God. I'm not going to palm readers because I trust God. I'm not asking other people to look into my future and dictate and coordinate every move that I make. But that doesn't make who I am less true. What the Lord spoke and showed me this morning is this. In the Word, it says that we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, that we are indeed fearfully and wonderfully made in His image. That is what the Word says. That is what I believe. That is my source. That is the same thing that the Lord, creator of all things, says you are too. But let's just take a moment and look at our lives. And so what the Lord was showing me is, let's just say that at some point in time, you got in trouble, you were arrested. You have a picture. There's a mugshot of who you are. Just because there's an instant that has taken place and it may not look favorable, it doesn't make it less true. Because you were in a situation, you were drunk, you were molested. that is not your identity. Your identity is found in Him. But that doesn't make those things that have happened to you less true. You are all that He says you are. However, there are going to be different things that take place in our lives that will attempt to smother us, hinder us, bind us. There are even good things that take place in life. Or shall I say things that make us feel good, that are not His best, nor are they showing His promises, which are yes and amen towards us. But that doesn't mean that it did not happen or that it was not true at that moment in time. So what I want to do on this day is encourage us to know that we are the light. And sometimes all the light has to do is show up and be seen. The light doesn't always have to make a sound. Allow the Lord to lead you so we're not leading others into harm. That way we're not leading others into distress. Sometimes God puts you in a position where you can hear, where you can learn, and then you speak. So make sure that all that we do is being done in love. I know not everybody is going to agree with me, but sometimes you hear things in order to learn. What is it that I'm hearing? What is it that I am to take away? What is it that I am to learn? There are going to be times when the Lord will tell you to shut things down. But make sure that it's Him and not you that is doing that. Make sure you cultivate a loving relationship with others, that you have that relationship developed. That way, this is not the only way they're seeing you. When I first meet somebody, my job is to find out from the source, the one true provider, to find out why He has ordained or allowed this person to be positioned in my area, in my personal space. Because I know that we are the light, but sometimes there is something that we too can learn. Cultivate the relationship first before you try and make someone else feel as though they are less than you. Remember, the Lord is not a respecter of persons. That means not only does He love, anoint, and cherish you, He loves, anoints, and may appoint that person too. Get to know them before you try and cast them out. Allow them to know your light, that you are a light source, and not just someone that condemns. Engage in conversation first, people. Get to know them and allow them to get to know you. That way your truth can be heard.